name is Elijah. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the downfall of the beauty community. I know, so exciting, right? We're going to talk about it. This has been a long conversation about a lot of YouTubers talking about their channels gone down, their views, everything's gone down. Long form content is just not there. And I want to give my opinions on the whole idea or thought that the beauty community has, just dissipated or gone down. And I'm going to talk about why. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's get started. All of the beauty community. So obviously, let's go ahead and start off and get out the way. One of the biggest things that have impacted social media, YouTube. Let's focus on YouTube first, then we can focus on the other social medias. But the reason why the pandemic affected social media is that everyone was going to a social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and they were posting on these platforms. Everybody was going to them and watching them when there was the lockdown. And for years, not for a couple of months, for years, like a good 3 years. And then when the pandemic started to slow down and slowed down and affected people started going back to work, the orders were lifted, and that's when we started seeing the decrease in social media. After scandals, after accusations, after being canceled. How many times did we see through the pandemic that communities were being canceled? Tony Lopez, he was canceled, right? You had James Charles, multiple times he was canceled, and of course his scandals. You had Jeffree Star. I can tell you how many times he's been canceled for his scandal. So many people that were canceled. You had Nikki Tutorials. You had JoJo Siwa, she was canceled. You had so many people. Some of the things they were canceled for were like out of their control, but majority of them were involved in things that are in their control. So many scandals and so many canceled. When you're being canceled so many times, you eventually start to lose the audience loyalty, because now there's a consistency in you being canceled, which makes them think, hey, you're bad, you're doing something wrong, I don't like it. It really breaks that. It's a lot like customer loyalty, right? They need to trust in the product you're selling. Same thing with your audience. They need to trust in the content creation, right? And they can't do that when you're always in a scandal or always in a period where you're being canceled. So I think that's number 2 reason why you see a downfall in the beauty community. Since everybody was watching, consuming creators and their content on social media, by the time that 3 years ended and lockdown, was released, it was like now everyone is starting to go back to normal, right? What happens is people get sick of it and they're not watching it as much as they did during the pandemic. Maybe some not at all, or some just very little. And I think that's what happens. People overwatched social media so much that it just became like, oh boy. And I thought maybe it's just like the beauty community. But then I started doing my research and I started looking at the gaming community, the cooking community, the beanie community. And they all displayed the same kind of ratio. When you looked at people who were getting millions of views, 2, 3, 4, 5 million views, now they're getting anywhere between 500 and 900,000 views. And it was across the board. So the number one thing I think is that people overwatch social media so much that it just tanked. Number 2, going into why the beauty community had its downfall. The next thing is, I think is something that a lot of creators within the beauty community dealt with, is the scandals and the accusations and the cancellations. People getting canceled about the beauty and not the the drama community and its play in the downfall of the beauty community. Obviously, whenever there's a cancellation, the biggest community that plays a part in the canceling of creators is the drama community. Drama community is the first one to cancel someone for doing this, doing that, even if they don't know 100% yet if it's true. The first one, I know what you can say. Oh, you're a drama channel. I know, but I'm not getting involved in the cancellation culture, the cancellation culture. I don't get involved in that because the only time I feel like someone needs to be canceled is when they've actually done something morally wrong that needs to be addressed. But so many play into that, and every time a drama channel posts a video, they click up the algorithm and it explodes on the internet, and it just pushes and pushes and pushes until it just creates this negative aura around the beauty community, which is where the whole audience loyalty customer idea comes in. Drama community actually plays a key role in the cancel culture. It's another issue that needs to be addressed. But to the downfall, I think that the drama community helps the beauty community, but also affects it in a lot of ways, destroying a lot of that trust. And again, when you're exposing people and joining the cancel culture, these things do happen. Now, I don't think you can take responsibility for the successes, which Jeffree Star did do, without taking responsibility for some of the failures within the beauty community. We know that he drove a lot of the sales and a lot of the marketing and promoting of the just whole makeup world as a whole and in the beauty community. But again, you can't take responsibility for the successes and none of the failures, or the failures that caused the downfall. And Jeffree Star spent a lot of time in the controversies, being canceled, and the scandals involved. I don't know, I don't agree with that, but that's my opinion. This was saying, I heard a comment that Jeffree Star made on a podcast where he said the reason that the beauty community had a downfall was because of James Charles and Tati Westbrook, or rather the makeup, but same thing, because it's part of the community. And the thing is that Jeffree Star took responsibility. All right, and that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed my opinions on why I think the beauty community had a downfall. I did not mention something, but I went to school for business. I spent so far about 15 years in business, running multi-million-dollar businesses and $1 billion business that I ran for about 16 months before I said, it's time to move on. But yeah, I do have kind of a business aspect of how to manage things and how things can be impacted. And one of the things I always stayed away from was getting in the company wise, getting involved in the social media world too much, unless it was for like promoting an item or something. Because the companies I worked for did have their own social media accounts, but I always recommended not getting too involved, just enough to respond to your customers in promoting items and seasonality. But I do definitely have an experience on how to mitigate that. But when you start involving your personal opinions on things, especially when they have nothing to do with you, you're going to end up causing a lot of the downfall. And that's where I think a lot of the beauty gurus did cause downfalls within the community. So really, it's up to them to figure out how they want to go about getting it back, because people are still doing makeup and they're still doing tutorials and readies with me. So they're still there. There's still opportunity, but you got to build that audience loyalty back up. But that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed this. And I'm trying out this new background. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but go ahead and give me a big thumbs up or down if you like today's video. Drop a comment down below on your opinions on why the beauty community had.
And I will see you in the next video. Bye now.